Hi, this is Erica Nelson, and I'm here with Terry Velios, who is a realtor at terryvelios.com with Keller Williams. And Terry, I thought it'd be great if you could talk to people about selling a home that, you've cared about it for a long time, you're getting ready to put it on the market. It's not a foreclosure, so you've got some love to put into this house. What are some of the things you can do to get your home ready, and what do you tell people who have to sell their home at this point?
The first thing I explain to a seller who's thinking of selling is to really find out if they are ready to sell their house. They have to be committed to make that decision. If they've made that commitment that they are definitely ready to sell their house, then they're going to be more open to receive the information that I'm going to share with them. Because it's no longer their home. And that's the hardest part, because they have lived in that house for a long time, they've made memories, and oftentimes they feel like they're giving something up. So when they've made that decision to sell their home, then there's three things that they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
They need
to... Stopping on that, just kind of what I heard you say, and I'm a big proponent of this. Anyone who follows me knows that I really believe that mindset is so critical. And so what I'm hearing you say is the power of having that solid mindset. So it's not really a good time if you're not sure. What I'm hearing is to kind of talk about that mindset and why that's so important.
Absolutely. Oftentimes people might think it's some sort of power of abundance or however you want to think about it. But it really is making that solid decision. If you want to try the market, it's not going to work for you because you're going to be resistant and not really be able to make the changes that the house needs in order to get it in the right presentation for someone to want to buy that house.
So what kinds of changes are you recommending? Is this a good time to renovate your kitchen if you have the tile? You're hearing all about that. Or is this a time when you would just, put the tan bark out and clean it all up in the front? Kind of tell me a little bit about what's the trend right now, to the right thing to do to get your house beautiful for sale.
Well, it really depends on where the house is, how it compares to the homes that people are shopping for that house. So if you're in Saratoga or Los Gatos, and you're competing with other people that may have the granite in their house, that might be something you might want to think about. If you're in Cambrian or South San Jose, you might be able to do other things that don't cost as much money, but be able to get a big bang for it, such as decluttering is one of the biggest things that you can do. Mm-hmm. Get prime real estate are countertops and closets. Mm-hmm. Clean out those closets, clean out the countertops. A great tip is get some baskets and all those things that you use on a daily basis, stick them in the baskets, stick them underneath the counter, and then when you're ready to use those again, bring them back out.
Why do you have to clean your closets?
Well,
I'm just curious because, those are sort of closed doors. Do you want to just clean the countertops and just tuck everything in the closet?
Well, people are going to be looking in those closets. And, oftentimes, if they go into someone's house, they're kind of hesitant to look into those closets. Mm-hmm. And then they open up the closets and they go, oh, there's not enough space. Or they start forming opinions. If it's, if there's things that aren't tidy in there, they might think that there's deferred maintenance or it's not as clean as it is. Mm-hmm. So, getting it to where someone can really fully see themselves living in that home to its fullest potential.
So clean, clear,
declutter,
free of sort of that personalized millions of years of things.
Taking yourself out of it, and that means that the wall of fame in the hallway with all those personal photos. Many realtors, myself included, have gone on tour, walked down that hallway, and we stopped and saw all the beautiful family photos from the weddings to the babies to the dogs, right? And then we leave, and afterwards we say, well, what house do you remember? Remember the one with the poodle? What the house looked like? You don't remember because you got so caught up in the wonderful memories that family has. Mm-hmm. So it's really important to take those that personalization out of that house and allow someone else to see their own photos in there.
Okay. This was a question that you sent me, and I'm just really interested in the psychology of the buyer today. Mm. And tell me a little bit now about how things have changed in the last 5 to 10 years, and how has the home buyer changed? What are you seeing in terms of the trends in that? How can a home seller be prepared for the changes?
Well, they need to understand that the buyers today are a lot younger than they were in the past. Before people saved up their money, and then they bought that first starter home, and then made their families, and then maybe got some equity and either moved up or moved down. Mm-hmm. But we're finding a lot more buyers are in that 25 to 35 age range, and they want it now, and they want it done. And so they're they're on the line, they're searching, and they're not just searching in one specific area. They're looking in, San Jose, Sunnyvale, Mountain View, to get that one property that they want. And they are a lot more educated than the buyers in the past.
That's a good point. Yeah, we definitely are seeing that. And I think the technology has made information available from all the zip codes now, and you can sort of shop around. What are some of the things that you do? Because I know you've just been very successful in your listings. You've been able to get multiple offers regardless of the climate that we're in. You've been able to get kind of a sense of excitement. I've watched your open houses and they're packed, and you have a little rep for that. Yeah. So what is it that you do? What is it that makes it exciting? How are you able to instill that?
Well, first off, when I have a cooperative sellers, and I've been very blessed to have a lot of sellers that go in there and they really do what they need to do to get their home ready. So then we take tons of photos because 80 to 90% of people are finding that home online. And so we put that out there into several photos on all the websites, Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, Craigslist. We just market it to where all the buyers are looking these days. I build a personalized website for each listing with its own domain name, and then individual business cards featuring that homes so that I can speak to not just home buyers and sellers, but other agents about that property as well. So I'm constantly marketing that home.
How many pictures when you're saying, because I think the traditional was like a bedroom, the kitchen, the living room, and the backyard and the front yard, and maybe like a pool or something. So now I'm hearing you say that that's not really good enough.
Well, on Realtor.com, your home is positioned by the amount of photos you have. So as many photos as you can put in there, the better for you. And so I had a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house in Santa Clara. How many pictures can you take of that house? So what I did was I went to the park, I went to the library, I went and found some neighborhood photos and featured those as well, so that someone says, well, this is not just a home, but it's a community that I'm buying into.
So get a little creative, think outside the box.
Right, because you don't really know who that demographic is going to be. Right. So whether it's a family or first-time home buyer or people with children or not with children.
Yeah. So we just have about a minute left, and do you just want to kind of sum up, like for the first-time home buyer, is there just one or two things you could share for the first-time home buyer, what they might want to look out for or think about?
They really need to get their loan pre-qualified first. And sit down with the realtor, get everything in place so that they know what their situation is. Okay. And once they know what that is, then the agent can talk to them about the pros and cons and what they're facing, whether it's short sales, bank owns, or regular homes.
Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate your time today. Thanks for all your energy.
And thank you for having me.